Okay, so this is going to be my backpacking presentation for PED 440, and here we go. So what is backpacking? So it's a very low cost of travel, very inexpensive when you do it because you're carrying all your belongings in your backpack. It really gives the opportunity to see the world, travel on a budget without having to break the bank because traveling can be very expensive. Um, so let's, and then obviously a person who does this is called a backpacker. So some backpacking essentials. So obviously you're gonna want good shoes. So your hiking boots or shoes. These are really good because they're gonna help you when you're on the uneven trails, when you have to climb a little bit, steep slopes and stuff like that. They have really good grips. You're gonna want to have some of those. Water bottles or supplies that you could make water with. So such as like using a spout and hitting it into a tree and you could fill your water bottle up. You want to get food that's really rich in nutrients that your body is going to need because you're going to be working it. So you're going to want to have good food that is going to be able to replenish and fill up your body with the things that it's needing because it's working so hard. Also, what's important is a first aid kit. So this is important to have too because like you never know what could happen. Like let's say you fall and slip and you cut your finger. Well, you're out in the wilderness, you're out in the forest, so you're gonna want a Band-Aid and some peroxide and some Neosporin to wrap over it real quick, just so you don't get it infected while you're continuing your trip. What's also really important is you're gonna want to know where you're at. So whether that means you have a GPS, but if you get a GPS, make sure it could go offline. It does not need any type of satellite connection, internet connection that you may lose. So you may need to maybe get a map instead or a compass. These are really good to help you where you're at. You always need to know where you're at when you're camping so you don't get lost. So waterproof clothing. So like a hat with the brim, a windbreaker, some sunglasses are really good to help because you never know when you're backpacking what kind of weather can come to you, what like so quick of the weather can change. Also too, because you are going to be sweating, you're going to be working your body out. So getting sweaty and then like it not being waterproof or it not being able to dry, you could possibly get sick. So having waterproof clothing is really good, really important. Also, you're gonna want to have a flashlight or a headlamp and extra batteries. And I do not mean the flashlight on your phone because eventually your phone is going to die. And it's very important whether you get a headlamp, a flashlight, or both, you want to bring extra batteries because you never know how long they could really last you. You always want to be prepared. So some benefits of backpacking. So you're going to have a lower heart rate risk. It's going to improve your blood pressure and blood sugars, boost your bone density, build your strength, decrease your levels and chances of stress and anxiety. So this is really good for stress and anxiety with people who struggle with this because you're outdoors, you're in the nature, whether you're in a desert hiking or you're in a forest or you're just out there in wildlife. You're experiencing that. You're not closed inside in your house, in your car. You're out and you're free and you just see the world and see nature. This is really good for like health wise, also to like your strength, bone density, blood pressure, sugar levels, heart rate, because you're working out your body. You may not be going and running on the treadmill or lifting weights or in intense cardio workouts or anything, but you are still working out your body. You're going to be walking on uneven terrains, hills, steep slopes, so your heart rate's gonna be getting up. So it's really good to help with that as well. So some strategies to use backpacking to help increase your fitness even more. So for obviously when you're a beginner, you're gonna want to start shorter hikes, more local, just so it can help you build up your endurance, your body's capability to do so. So you're also gonna want to work slowly up to trails with hills and uneven terrains because if you start off like that, your body isn't ready for it. It's not built up to that. It won't be able to handle it, and you could possibly just like blow yourself out, or you could get hurt. Using poles, these are really good because they're basically crutches, so you're digging yourself into the ground and you're pushing yourself forward, so you're using your upper body muscles more. This is a really good cardio workout. So even when you're a beginner and there's like little hills, like these are really good because hills increase your heart rate and they help you burn extra calories. So even though it may not be as big as what John can do, but I mean, if you could do it, push yourself just that much, it's really good to help you increase your heart rate and burn those extra calories that you need. Weighing yourself down, this could be really good because it's like kind of like basically like ankle weights. Like lifting weights in general, like your body has to work harder to be able to produce the force, to be able to perform the action, the motion, the activity. So like such as someone like bringing more water could really help you burn more calories. You also want to get into like a routine, into a groove. So let's say the days you can't go backpacking, you also want, you can't do that. Okay, that's fine. You want to get power walk. Go for a power walk for, I don't know, a couple miles, you know, and it's still good because you may not be on uneven terrains, the steep slopes, you know, but you are still working your heart out. So some safe hiking tips. So you want to bring a buddy. It's always better to hike with somebody than to alone, especially if you're a beginner. Even if you're an very experienced hiker, it's always better to have somebody with you just in case something happens, because you never know what could happen. So you want to know before you go. So you want to familiarize yourself with the trail and the hike that you're going to be going on, just so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into, so you're not just walking into something you don't know about. You also want to check the weather. You want to make sure, like, it's gonna like be really rainy and it could possibly snow. Well, then you're not gonna want to go because you could get sick. Let's say like a tree falls and you get stuck under it. Like, you know, you don't want to do those things. You want to always be planning ahead and be aware. So you also want to dress and pack appropriately. So let's say it's going to be a little bit more harder than you anticipated. Okay, well now I know to bring food, to bring extra water, to bring a hat, to bring some extra sunscreen spray so you don't get burned, or this bug spray. Also, proper communication. This is very key. When you're doing this hiking, especially if you're going to go hike alone, you want to at least let anywhere from 2 to 3 people know where you're going to ensure your safety and your safe return. So let's say like you're going Tuesday morning, and you know, oh hey Saturday night, hey John, like I'm going here and there, you know, I just wanted to let you know, you know, like I'll check in with you when I'm leaving, I'll let you know when I make it back. If you could just be mindful of that, because you never know what could happen. You could think everything could be fine, but let's say like out of nowhere you're almost done with your hike, you're on your way back, and a storm just comes, you know. So you always want to be doing that, be in communication with people, letting them know where you're at, just in case something does happen to you. Even if you're not by yourself and you're with 1 or 2 other people, you always want to let people know where you're going to be at and everything, just so you never know what could happen, so you're going to be properly prepared. And that is it for my backpacking presentation.